Hey, hi you guys. So I'm doing this little deal. This is day three of the daily reflections. And it just, you know, I've explained it, but I'll explain it again. It just came to me several times. It's like, because I've been doing videos, I think on my YouTube channel, I have about 1,000 videos and over the last 10 years. I don't know. It's my way of carrying the message. And so August the 7th, we'll get reading here. I'm in the shade of my little tree in the backyard. Got my dogs over here. You can hear them chewing. They've got a big bone that I got them. And life is pretty good. Life is pretty good. It says, August the 7th, a design for living. We, in our turn, sought the same escape with all the desperation of drowning men. What seemed at first a flimsy reed has proved to be the loving and powerful hand of God. A new life has been given us, or, if you prefer, a design for living that really works. That's from the Big Book on page 28, the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I love that. We, in our turn, sought the same escape with all the desperation of drowning men. And it's interesting when people come into recovery, desperation will just take them so far. And we see it often. It's guys come in, I'll do anything, they're in deep shit, and they've probably lost a lot of things, and then that desperation fades. So my goal often is to help men find inspiration. So we go from desperation to inspiration. So the further this reading, it says, so basically, just to go back, it's the book of reflections by AA members for AA members. So basically, somebody has written a bit of a reflection on this reading. It says, I try each day to raise my heart and hands in thanks to God for showing me a design for living that really works through our beautiful fellowship. But what exactly is this design for living that really works? For me, it is the practice of the 12 steps to the best of my ability, the continued awareness of a God who loves me unconditionally, and the hope that in each new day there is a purpose for my being. I am truly blessed. I am truly, truly blessed in the fellowship. So it's interesting as we come into the 12-step world, and I remember when I first sobered up, I was really young. I was 25 and desperate, really desperate, and things were a mess. Maybe I have to be grateful. I think, hi Gord, Trinda. I have to be grateful that my life didn't change really quickly. My desperation lasted a long time. Remember 2 years in recovery, and I was basically with my family without a place to live, so it went on for a while, and I think that was good for me, because I needed to really get immersed in this 12-step way of living. I was undisciplined, and we didn't have a design for living. I didn't really know how to live, and not like lots of people come into recovery and things are going reasonably well. They have a system for living. They went to university. I started drinking at 13, and as a full-fledged alcoholic, I drank alcoholically from day one, and so I didn't get to kind of build some sort of a platform. I was I did some street time as a kid, and in Toronto, and street time in Vancouver, so I didn't have a design for living. I really needed one, and it's been a long process, and I didn't have a relationship with a higher power, so to speak. I had one, but it was my relationship with higher power was generally get me out of this one. I promise I'll never do it again. We call them let's make a deal prayers, so anyway, some 40 some years have come and gone, and I've got to stay sober, and had kids of my own, and who have gotten recovery, and it's a pretty beautiful deal. It really is. And just a couple of things I'll leave you with that are happening right now. I've got a bit of a meditation group coming up, a weekend. So we're going to take some time in September, and there'll be maybe 12 or 15 of us, and do a weekend meditation group. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And my other thing that I do is all recovery stuff, and I'm just blessed to be able to do this, is I work a lot with dads. So men who are in recovery, who are fathers. And there's a there's a gap. There's a gap there. It's something that doesn't get talked about a lot. Fellas come in and they've got, sometimes 2 or 3 kids, often with 2 or 3 women, and things aren't good. And so my job is to help with those relationships, help men to be the dad that they really want to be. And I have some experience in that area. Married a couple of times and have 3 kids and 2 in recovery. One of our greatest fears men have, even when their kids are really young, is that they're going to be addicts and alcoholics like us. And so we deal with that in My Dad's in Recovery. So we want to talk about that. We're going to do a course in October, a weekend on that. And then we have a support group so men have other men who are in recovery to spend time with and talk to. What? My dog's laying beside me and having a little cry. Okay, love you guys, and make a comment. Tell me what you think about this daily reflection, or about your experience in recovery, about your experience as a dad in recovery, or how are you doing with your meditation, your step 11. Okay, love you guys.